So, Hollywood, we need to talk. You've been suffering from some marketing issues lately. You spoiled a genuine surprise with the trailers for Abigail, and now you are trying to convince the world that Zendaya is about to get a train run on her. Hollywood, stop that! But the movie itself? The movie, it's great! Here are my immediate thoughts on Challengers. Challengers is the new sports movie starring Zendaya, Mike Faist, Josh O'Connor, and is directed by Luca Guadagnino. The plot follows a professional tennis champion who plots a comeback with the help of his wife, a former tennis prodigy who retired after an injury, as he goes up against another player who also happens to be his former best friend and his wife's former lover. So while everyone's been going gaga over a couple of things when it comes to this movie, particularly the cast, and yeah, the marketing, I am actually more excited over Guadagnino's involvement. He directed the amazing Call Me By Your Name and the absolutely outstanding 2018 reimagining of Suspiria, so I am pretty much down for anything this guy puts out. And Challengers is another challenging film that tells the story of three very complex characters through one tennis match. So let's get this out of the way because I really want to stress this. If you are walking into this movie expecting Zendaya to be in Gaspar Noé's Love, prepare to be sorely disappointed. But if you love dick, this movie's got you covered. This is some of the juiciest soap opera this side of X-Men 97. So let's get to the performances, and there are three main ones in Challengers. Mike Faist plays Art, the tennis player who is a former champion, and he's trying to restore some of his former glory by hopefully winning this particular tennis match. He has never won the US Open, and that's sort of the driving force behind his character. At the same time, he is very tired of the grind of being a professional tennis player for a good chunk of his adult life. Also, he is feeling the pressures of performing for his wife, played by Zendaya. It is a really good performance. We get to see a lot of Art's youthful exuberance as someone who just loves tennis for the sake of the game. And we get to see his evolution of his character as someone who, let's be honest, let his dick dictate the rest of his life and career. But honestly, it is a great multifaceted performance by Mike Faist. Josh O'Connor is Patrick, Art's best friend, and from a pure player standpoint, he is actually the better of the two, but his life is an entire wreck, and when this film opens, he is just a complete mess. He is sleeping in his car. He is with his eyes begging for food, basically, and is asking for his winnings in advance. He is that confident. And his evolution is actually really great as well in this movie. And that entire complex relationship really brings out the best out of Josh O'Connor when we really get to see his mindset. And he is the one who definitely seems to be able to figure out Tashi and her bullshit when everything is said and done. And we think he's going to be the antagonist, but really, he's just a manipulator in this movie. But it is, again, another fine performance from Josh O'Connor. But let me tell you, Zendaya walks into this movie and she's like, well, I'm just going to walk into this room here. It's nice and clean, but fuck that. I want chaos. If there is a better movie villain this year than Tashi Duncan, please let me know. Tashi is a former tennis prodigy who got injured very early in her life, and from there she makes the decision to turn art into a professional tennis champion. And the way she manipulates, the way she gaslights, the way she pits these two friends against each other, the way she can never give a straight answer, how she turns Art's actions against him, she is fucking evil. But Zendaya doesn't play her like that, and that's what makes the character in itself brilliant. Tashi Duncan is a doting, loving mother. She is a shrewd businesswoman, but she pretty much is an absolute force of nature when it comes to her ambition. And she is completely driven by this idea that tennis is a relationship, and that skews and colors her entire existence and every single decision that she makes in this film. I mean, fair play to her. Girl knows what she wants and how to get it, but Zendaya, girl, you're wrong for this. She arranges and accomplishes one specific moment in this movie, and the look of absolute satisfaction she gives to the camera, knowing that she has these two men in the palm of her hands, is absolutely delicious. This is a film of glances and moments, with every smirk, squint, and even a callback to what a particular tennis stance means. It just reveals more and more about our characters and what makes them tick. This is one of those films that jumps back and forth through time. There are time jumps because we are following these characters pretty much from their teen years, and the film does a really good job for the most part of realistically aging our characters. In the case of Faist and Zendaya, they have baby faces and they look young, so being able to age them up and down is really easy to do, I think, and they did a really good job of realistically aging those two particular characters. Josh O'Connor, though, I have to admit, seeing him as an 18-year-old reminded me of watching Porky's, and even as a young child watching a movie that I knew that I shouldn't be laying my eyes off, looking at the character of Meat, I knew that guy wasn't a motherfucking teenager. Now that I think about it, I think there was more male nudity in this than in Porky's. That's crazy! I commend the cinematography for the tennis matches, whether it is a POV shot of our tennis players or a POV shot of the ball going back and forth across the court. We hear every grunt. The tennis ball sounds like gunshots when they're going off. And there are even shots where it feels like the tennis ball is coming right at you. No lie, I actually ducked at one particular instance because I'm a fucking idiot. But that kind of visceral filmmaking is appreciated. Overall, I thought Challengers was an excellent character study and a visceral tale about relationships told through the art of tennis. The performances, especially Zendaya, are outstanding, and if you appreciate a film that goes off the beaten path when it comes to telling a different kind of love story, this may be for you. It is shot beautifully, the tennis scenes are kinetic, and I also have to give a shout out to the music by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross that, yeah, good fucking job. I believe if one likes sports films like Bull Durham that mixes an intense sports drama with the soap opera element, this may be a film one would enjoy. This movie takes some turns no one sees coming, and honestly, the less known going into this movie, the better. But I had a great time with this. Challengers is a blockbuster for me. Definitely check this out if you get the chance to, but be warned, it is not the movie that is being advertised to you. In some ways, it's actually better. Yeah, Hollywood, stop that! What did you think of Challengers? Share your thoughts, leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.